let's talk about something that might be a little uncomfortable. What if one of your company's biggest investments is, well, just disappearing? Today, we're going to break down why so much of that traditional sales training doesn't stick and how moving it online can completely change the game for your results.
I want you to think about the last big sales training event you put on. You remember it, right? The energy in the room was probably amazing. But what about a week later or a month? Did all that excitement actually turn into more sales, or did it just kind of fade away, leaving you wondering what you really got for all that money?
Well, here's the brutal truth. Research shows that without consistent, ongoing reinforcement, people forget up to 95% of what they learned. Just let that sink in for a second. 95%. For every $100,000 you spend on one of those big events, it's like you're taking $95,000 and just setting it on fire. It's a massive, massive loss, and frankly, it's what's happening in most companies.
So why does this happen? Well, it's because of what I like to call the rock concert model of training. It's this huge, flashy, one-time event. It's all designed for maximum impact right there in the moment, but really, it's just a sugar rush of information. It creates a ton of hype, sure, but it's not the real sustained nourishment your team needs to actually get better at their jobs.
And this, right here, is the fundamental choice you have to make. Are you building a system based on a flash flood, where all this info comes rushing in and then washes right back out? Or are you trying to build a sustainable learning journey, one that actually feeds and grows your team day after day? All right, so how do we build that better system? Let's start with the argument that always gets a business leader's attention: the money. We're going to look at how web-based training delivers a huge, undeniable win for your bottom line. And what's really cool here is that the most obvious benefit is actually a two-for-one deal. You're not just making a smarter financial move, you're also making a better choice for the environment. I mean, how often does that happen? It's one of those rare moments where doing the right thing for your budget is also the right thing, period. So where does all this money come from? It's not just one thing, it's everything. It's this whole cascade of expenses that just vanishes. Seriously, think about it. No more flights, no more booking blocks of hotel rooms, no more crazy dinner bills, no more printing thousands of pages of materials. The savings here aren't small. They can literally transform your entire training budget.
But look, the money is just the start. The real magic, the real game changer, is when you look at the logistics. This is where online training stops looking like just a way to save money and starts looking like a powerful strategic weapon for your entire organization.
Saving money is great, but that's playing defense. Let's talk offense. How does this approach actually make your sales team better, faster, and more effective at closing deals? This is our second pillar, and it's all about driving pure performance.
Think about it like this. If you wanted to learn a new language, you wouldn't just try to memorize the entire dictionary in one weekend, right? Of course not. That's insane. You'd learn a few new words every single day. That's what we call the drip effect. It's about learning in small, consistent, manageable chunks that actually stick, because that's how our brains are actually designed to work.
Oh man, this quote just hits the nail on the head. We've all been there, right? You're in a crucial moment, maybe on a big call, and you need an answer right now. The old model of waiting 3 months for the next big training event is completely out of touch with how fast sales moves today. Help has to be available in the moment of need.
So, just imagine a world where your brand new sales rep has the exact same library of knowledge as your #1 top performer. A world where your training materials are never out of date. That is the power we're talking about here. It's about arming everyone with the tools they need to win, especially in today's world where they're trying to convince a committee of 5 different people just to get a deal done.
Okay, we've talked about money and we've talked about performance. But now let's get to what really matters. The most valuable asset you have isn't your product, it's your people. So how does this shift in training affect them? This is our third and final pillar.
Think about the absolute best salesperson you've ever known. What was their secret? Sure, they knew the product, they had a great pitch, but underneath it all was this unshakable confidence. Confidence is the fuel for the entire sales engine. But here's the thing, you can't just teach it in a PowerPoint presentation. You have to build it. So how do you do that? You wouldn't throw a quarterback into the Super Bowl without having them run through the plays 1,000 times in practice, would you? Same thing here. Online training becomes the practice field. It's a safe space where your team can run drills, practice handling objections, and build the muscle memory they need to win when the pressure is on, all without risking a real deal.
And this is where it all comes together in this beautiful feedback loop. When your team isn't constantly on the road, they have a better work-life balance and they're happier.
When they feel like you're actually investing in their personal growth with amazing, accessible tools, they're way more likely to stick around. It creates this amazing cycle that just leads to a stronger, happier, and more successful sales culture.
So, let's pull all of this together. When you really look at all the evidence, it becomes crystal clear that this isn't just about picking a training method. This is a fundamental strategic choice about how you want to build your sales team for the future.
Let's just put it all out on the table, side by side. In one corner, you've got the old way. It's expensive, it's inflexible, and most of it is forgotten anyway. And in the other corner, you have a modern approach that's cost-effective, it's scalable, and it actually helps people remember and use what they learn. I mean, when you see it laid out like this, the choice is pretty obvious, isn't it?
Look, in today's market, you win by being the team that never stops learning, the team that is always adapting. Your competition isn't just training from 9 to 5 in a conference room anymore. They're getting better 24/7. So the only real question left to ask is, are you?